Very warm welcome from the Qatar Peninsula. We're at the Losail International Circuit near the capital city of Doha. Just a few more moments and we'll switch to the starting straight for the MotoGP class race. After a long weekend, the race is finally about to start. We're on the starting grid where the engineers are completing their checks before the off. The sun has set over the Qatar desert and the sand brought onto the track by the wind will make it difficult for riders to get good grip during the early stages of the race. Temperatures have dropped considerably compared to this afternoon, so many teams have opted for soft tyres.
Hello everyone and welcome back to part 2 of this MotoGP first day recording. So in the last race we won it quite comfortably with Ayagora from 10th place, and I think that was just because the AI needed to get used to my rating, so I've gone back onto it and I'm going to do a last to first challenge as Marc Marquez on the back of the grid for the main race itself, which is 6 laps, just going through the grid again. Then we've got Bagnaia, Binder and Alex Marquez ahead of Jorge Martin, Fabio Quartararo and Franco Morbidelli, who round out the second row. Then we've got Fabio Gianantonio as the head of row 3 ahead of Pedro Acosta and Ayagora. Then on row 4 we have Maverick Vinales ahead of Johan Zarco and Marco Bezzecchi. Then row 5 we have Firmin Aldeguer on the Gresini bike ahead of Enea Bastianini and Jack Miller. Row 6 is completed by Miguel Oliveira, Alex Rins and Raul Fernandez, with row 7 being Johan Mir ahead of Chantra and Luca Marini, and obviously we are on the 8th and last row in 22nd place for this race. Right, just getting the bike set up here. We're gonna look at the recommendations. I don't think it's giving us anything really. It should normally be like a green line. I think it is now that it should display. We're just going to go with the base setting anyway. It was quite balanced the last time, but we're going to get ready for the race now.
Pecco Bagnaia is starting from the front row thanks to that pole position from yesterday. All hell will break loose in a few moments.
Time to do it again then. From the back of the grid, where can we get with Marc Marquez in this race? As the lights go out, the AI have a little bit of a better reaction, but we get an initial second better getaway as we're going to go around the outside of 3 of these riders to get around them. We're just going to apply the throttle a little bit, try and get around them, and we're already up into 8th place from the back of the grid. So that was a genius move from us to go around the outside as we got Fabio Gianantonio on our inside, but we're going to just power through that. Have a little bit of wobble on the exit again there as we look like we're going to have a move on Pedro Acosta. Well, we know not quite yet into turn 4 as we go a little bit wide of the apex. So it's just our tyres are a little bit cold at the moment, obviously, because the temperature of the track is quite cold, obviously it being in the night even though it's a desert. And we go a bit wide, so Fabio Gianantonio gets back up the inside of us for 8th place, as we're just going to take it nice and easy into this turn as the AI have been running a bit wide, and we're going to get back at the inside of Digi, are we not? As we get into the flip-flop here of turn 8 and turn 9, and we're going to get a better exit and try and get Pedro Acosta on this exit here. We brake a little bit early for here, but it looks like Gianantonio is going to have another go at us, but we apply the throttle quite early and get a better exit, so we should have that covered as long as we go. And we have gone down in this, and we've taken Pedro Acosta with us. We're going to replay that just because it is one of my first races and I don't really want to be taking out any riders, so I'll just go wide myself and then I'll have to pick up the bike there, and Fabio Gianantonio gets in front of us, but we make a mistake once again, and yeah, I hate doing this. I normally would end up just restarting the race, but I want to get this nice and perfect into here, so we're not going to run wide, but we're not going to get a better exit than Pedro Acosta. We're just going to bide our time, get on the curb a little bit. We went a bit shallow at that, we have a little bit wobble on the exit, and we let Fabio Quartararo get back up the inside of us as we run a little bit wide onto the curb there. We're going to try and get a better exit. It looks like they're taking a little bit more corner entry speed into these corners now, like I was in the last one. We're going to get at the inside of Quartararo here, and we definitely do a little bit of contact, but there's nothing too bad in all honesty, as we're going to try and get ahead of Pedro Acosta now, but he looks like he's got the overspeed on us, so we're going to have to get into the slipstream. Antonio's got a better slipstream on us. We're going to try and level Acosta onto the brakes here. He tries and turns in, but we don't let him, and we're going to get at the inside of him for 7th place, going on to lap 2 now. Into turn 2, we're just onto the back of Fabio Quartararo, who's having a great race again on that Yamaha, getting the best out of that, even though its top speed is mediocre at best. We looked at the inside there, but nothing doing into that corner. They're just a little bit too quick on the entry there, and we get on the inside of the curb there, took a little bit too much, as we're looking at the inside of Quartararo again. He's kind of shown us a little bit too much respect racing there, and we get at the inside of him there as we go to the inside to try and defend that corner ahead of Quartararo, and we're into 6th place now, and we're now hunting down Franco Morbidelli for 5th place, as he is on that VR46 bike. And then we've got Francesco Bagnaia still in the lead, where we've got Alex Marquez in 2nd place, Brad Binder in 3rd, and Jorge Martin in 4th as the reigning champion this season. And we go a little bit wide off that apex again. We're just not getting our braking right into that corner, as we're looking for a way to get past Morbidelli, and we're going to get something around the outside here. Surely not, but we are. We're going to get round the outside of Franco Morbidelli as we just take more corner speed. We get right around the outside of him there. It looks like we're on the wrong side of Jorge Martin into this corner though, but we're going to go around the outside as he's pinched in between Brad Binder, and he's a bit slow on the apex, so we get round him and we're up into 3rd place, already up into the podium spot as we go across the line for lap 3 of this race. It is Alex Marquez versus Pecco Bagnaia here for the win at the moment, but can we start to challenge him as we close in now? Our tyre wear is definitely feeling it a little bit. We're already halfway through the wear on this lap already, so hopefully we're just going to try and conserve a little bit, but also at the same time we want to get these guys and we want to win, as Marc Marquez, his character already is, and Alex Marquez has gone down. He's gone down. He was under a bit of pressure from us obviously, but he is now down, and I think he is out of this race as well, so that is a shame for Alex Marquez really, as we are looking forward to a good little battle with him for 2nd place. But it looks like it's just between me and Pecco for the win. Are we going to have one over on our teammate like what Marquez has had all season at the moment? But the only thing is, are we going to push too much? I don't really want to fall off at this stage, and as I've already taken 2 replays, I don't really want to do any more really, because I just don't think it's fair. Obviously on the other riders, they can't replay it, and obviously in real life you can't replay, so I shouldn't be able to do it anyway. But just bearing it in mind, it is my first day on the game. I wanted to stay in the race, as we are slowly gaining on Bagnaia in some of the corners, but other ones he is just as good on the exit, and he looks like he's just doing enough at the moment, as we're 7 tenths behind him coming onto the straight. Looks like we've got a better exit there. We're in the slipstream. Are we going to be able to close in on Bagnaia on this straight? It is closing down a little bit, as we're now half a second behind him coming into here, but we go wide. We go massively wide. I think we were fooled a little bit on the brakes there by Pecco, and we're now just looking to get that gap a little bit smaller again. We're trying to bide our time as well, but obviously we do need to get this overtake done at some point, because they're only going to get quicker and quicker, the AI, as they adapt to my difficulty a little bit more. We've gained 1.5 over Brad Binder at the moment, but that does not mean to say that he is saving a bit of tyre at the moment. We have a little bit of a wobble as we're coming into turn 6, just trying to get that gap down on Pecco Bagnaia, but it looks like he's saved a little bit more tyre, obviously, because he's had a little bit of a gap to Alex Marquez in this race. So it looks like he's just got a little bit too much tyre for us to compete as the gap is getting bigger, as we get our first track limits warning now, just trying to get obviously close to Bagnaia, getting a little bit greedy with track limits there, and Brad Binder has got that gap down to 1.2 now, and Bagnaia is just getting away, and this, like, we can just see it, and obviously the graphic is saying 1 second, as we made a mistake there. Now we've lost nearly 3/10 to Bagnaia in one corner, and now we're trying too hard, and we've lost 2 more tenths on him coming into that corner, so it looks like we're going to have to settle for second place in this, because it looks like Pecco has just saved enough tyre to keep us at bay in this race, as we'll go over the line and we'll have 2 laps to go in this race, as Brad Binder has really closed the gap on us. He is now 4.5 tenths behind. He's in the slipstream of us. We're trying to break that slipstream, but obviously we need to try and bring this result home now, as we got the proximity arrows just telling us he is definitely behind us now, and I don't want to cede this position, but he is definitely going to be putting the pressure on us now, as Pecco Bagnaia has already just gone now. He is now 2 seconds up the road. He is just completely just turned a corner and has now broke the gap, as we get another track limits warning there, obviously pushing our limits with the brakes. A little bit of a wobble coming into turn 6, as we're trying so hard to keep Brad Binder behind, but we've got a terrible exit out there, so he might have an opportunity to get past us, but I don't think he quite has the gap to get in between us. We went nice and wide in there to try and get a good exit out of this corner, and we definitely did, as we have another wobble into turn 7. Obviously the tyres are going off now. It's that particular right hand side of the tyre is taking a lot of punishment in this race, so we're going to have to be really careful to make sure that we do not fall off or do anything silly to lose this second place. We're not getting first, that is for certain, as we get another track limits warning, and we've let Brad Binder through, because he has had a tighter line, and we get back ahead of him though on the exit, but it is very close between us and Brad Binder now. Jorge Martin might come into the fight as well, because that Aprilia does seem to get better throughout the end of the race at the moment, but have we got enough to have what it takes to stay ahead of Brad Binder? We enable the ride height device as we get onto the last lap of the race, looking behind us, trying to make sure that Brad Binder is not in our slipstream, because otherwise he'd be straight past us. Get nice and hard onto the brakes here. We have a bit of a wobble, but in true Marc Marquez style, we are just about staying on the bike at the minute, right on the edge, as Pecco is checked out. He is 3 seconds ahead of us, and it looks like, as long as it's no mistakes, we have a massive slide on the exit, getting really greedy with track limits now. We got to be really careful with track limits, because we're on 4 warnings. If we get another one, we get a long lap penalty, and obviously that's around 5 seconds, and we're just going past the long lap penalty now, so if we did get another penalty, that would be 5 seconds, and we'd be probably just inside the top 10 if we keep up the current pace that we are at now. Bagnaia is completely checked out, completely dominated this race from start to finish, so well done to him. We're trying to hold on to second place here, as Brad Binder is going to have a sniff into every single corner now to try and put us off of this second place, but it looks like that we might just hang on as long as we do nothing silly into these last few corners now, as there is only really one overtaking spot now till the end of the race, and with that straight being a little bit shorter, I think we're going to be a little bit thankful that because obviously Brad Binder wanted to try and get a good exit, but it looks like we've just done enough, and he is 8 tenths behind now, so we've just done enough in that final sector to make sure that we solidify second place. Bagnaia is about to cross the line now, and he wins the MotoGP race here as we get second place as Marc Marquez from the back of the grid.
Let's take a look at the final classification of the MotoGP race before the traditional podium ceremony.
So, Pecco Bagnaia wins for Ducati in this Qatar Grand Prix, 3 seconds ahead of us, Marc Marquez. Brad Binder finishes in third place for the KTM team. Then we got Jorge Martin, the reigning champion, in fourth. Morbidelli finishes in fifth place for the VR46 team. Fabio Quartararo impresses on the Yamaha in sixth. Fabio Di Giannantonio in seventh for the Ducati team, ahead of Pedro Acosta, Maverick Vinales and Iagora rounds out the top 10. Then comes Fermin Aldeguer for the Gresini team. Then we've got Enea Bastianini in 12th ahead of Jack Miller. Johan Zarco finishes in 14th ahead of Marco Bezzecchi in 15th. Johan Mir is then the first of the Hondas on this list in 16th place. Miguel Oliveira finishes in 17th. Chantra finishes 18th ahead of Raul Fernandez, Alex Rins, Luca Marini and Alex Marquez failed to finish.
Who's getting a well-deserved round of applause from his team members. This is a really good result that will give him some optimism for the upcoming races. Here are the top three riders on the podium. All three were top-notch, but it was Bagnaia's day to put his stamp on the Grand Prix. A fantastic race. Pecco overjoyed because he knows he's pulled off something special.
So that rounds out today's video, everyone. Thank you very much for watching today. If you have enjoyed this video, then be sure to give it a like. If you are new around here, then do get subscribed for more motorsport content like this. I have been Formula Ford, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. Goodbye.
Eyes in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you?